What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to take two of the same stream. So the stream, I just couldn't get on with it. The stream just crashed. The cameras kept crashing. Could not figure out what the problem is, and the only way I could think to move forward was to actually break down the whole computer, move it over away from the welding station as far as the cables would let me without having to reroute everything. And this settings camera down here, this guy, I thought he might be the culprit because the cable was running over the welding machine. So tried to just fix the problem so I can continue streaming. So fingers crossed that that has solved the problem. I don't think it's the same stream link, so I've just resent out a whole bunch of new links over my socials, and we should be back in business. Audio's working. I did just grab myself a green juice while I was trying to fix that crap. And I think we'll just get back into it and see how it goes. I think no matter what, the products need to be welded, so I need to keep on chugging through. I really don't want to have to frig around with cameras, but I do want the stream to be successful. So Chris back. G'day, Chris. I assume it just popped back up in the feed, and that's that. I could not, because I had to turn the computer off, I could not just restart the stream on the same link. It came up, but it would not let me push go, so I had to change the stream title, which I think changes the link. So but everything except TikTok, I just reissued the link. And TikTok, I can't post a link anyway. It just goes into my link tree, which is just a link to the landing page on my channel. So that shouldn't affect anything. And that's how I should be doing it, I think, on all my socials ultimately. But anyway, that was exciting. Notification told you it had started. Yeah, I thought that'd be the case. I've updated the chatbot as well, and it wasn't working in the last stream, but maybe me restarting the computer, or at least the streaming program, has activated him. So I've got it programmed to just have some messages pop up from time to time. There is a whole heap of criteria to make it pop the messages up, but I thought, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. So here we go. Just hit like on the on the stream. Oh, I'm choking on choking on the green juice. All right, this may be the most unprofessional stream that I've ever done. Let's jump into the looking screen here. And so we just welded that filter basket when the stream died. Got a bit too much heat in this side here. This tack hasn't taken, so a little bit of a heat sink issue as I went across there, but we'll get this curved side done and just keep on welding. We really need to get to that custom catch can. So we jump over to settings and just jump out of the pulse setting, and so we still have the high frequency start. We've dropped it back down to -25. Let's go back to 33 let's assume that computer location was an issue, and just carry on as if everything's just going to be freaking awesome from here on out, which it probably will be. We've got a chill block on. We're going to jump into welding screen number 2 and just see what happens. How did we go? We have all cameras working still. I don't know if that's I can't count it as fixed, unfortunately. It just doesn't work that way, but it's positive, and that's a good thing. Let's carry on. Welding camera froze, but everything else is good. Welding camera, we know will restart on the screen change. So no dramas there yet, I don't think. I don't think there's much I want to do about that. I think I'll just keep going, keep testing and see what happens. I do want to test this welder camera, and that seems to be working. I wonder if I can bring that a little bit closer so we can actually see what's going on the screen. Bit of glare there, but we'll be fine. So let's carry on and see what happens. All right, everything looks looks like it's successful. How do you measure success when you're talking about EMF? Really thinking about getting a EMF detector and seeing if I can learn anything else, but might just learn that we've got a ghost in here. But moving the computer away, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I used to have the computer back here, and I've tried the computer like under the stairs over here, but it's just the cabling. So right now, so basically I've got like this welding station and then a car bay. So I've put it over in the car bay, like as far as the cables will let me. See here, this is, you can see here this little pimple looking thing. That's where the baffle is welded in, and you can see right here the heatsink of the baffle as soon as I approached it. And then obviously we've got a couple little dips over those holes. Not mad about it at all. Overall looks pretty good. It does feel like the frequency is too high, which is strange because last night it felt really, really good. So the only thing that's different is this high frequency spark force. I've dropped down to 95%. And then obviously done the compensation here as well for it, which adding that extra 5% back for 1.2 seconds when we fire up the weld. So we'll just try dropping that frequency down to 125. It's really just a feel thing at this point. It's not really much else. I was going to say that catch can's done because I've done the back here, which is normally the last weld that I do, I think. But I can see in the screen that I haven't even done the curb side on the bottom yet. What is going on? So I tried this the other day, and it was pretty successful, just to prop the can up like this, instead of getting the curved prop out. I might regret it ultimately, but let's give it a go right now and see how it feels. Yep, we'll just jump in a welding screen and go for it. Okay, yes. All right, looks like everything is still working. That, if I can remember, that really needs to be my new method, because it feels really easy to get around, and it actually has a really nice angle, especially for approaching this section here, which has that sort of two angle situation. Look how clean that is. That for that. I mean, there was a stop start here and another stop start there. Looks really good. I'm really happy with that. I do like the etching zone. So running the AC balance at 33% seems to be the way to go, for me at least. I'm so glad that I found that document for the I think it's the MLS 230, the older Kempe machine, that explained the AC balance going beyond zero, and how it relates to what I think it's positive. Let's check it out. I know we had a look yesterday, but we were on Twitch yesterday, not on YouTube. So the AC balance, we can go all the way to 99 on that. The machine defaults to 60 because we're never going to go that far, really. But this is the one that gets me. The limit max goes to positive 20, and that for me has thrown out that wanting to run it at 30%, like I have on every other machine I've ever owned. So the calculation for that, according to the Kempe document I found, and I will on my socials put up that I meant to do it yesterday and didn't get a chance, said that 39% is the 30-70 split. And I just found through trial and error that 33% actually had a really nice etching zone. So that's how we've landed there from our 22 or 24 or 28 or whatever I was running previously. But yeah, I'd like to find more information. I was on a forum, I forget what forum, it was probably Welding Tips and Tricks. They were talking about just like the voodoo-ness of the Kempi machines. And there's another machine, I forget what the brand is, out of Finland as well. Finland. But let's keep on welding, guys. Okay. So it got a little bit too hot on this weld through here. You can see it. It got too hot, and then I just persisted with it. Probably, or definitely, should have taken the time and put a chill block on this surface here. which I did for this section here, and it's not too bad. Still a lot of heat in the part. Don't know why I'm rushing. I'm rushing because I want to get to the job that actually needs to be done tonight, which is this catch can right here, which looks a lot like my S14 catch can, but the outlet filter's in a different location. The inlets are in a different location. I have blocked off the drain, and I will be putting a new drain on the bottom there. And the reason I've gone to this much trouble with this catch can is it's actually mounting on the opposite side of the engine bay, and I've made this little this is actually going to be a washer bottle, but it was originally intended to be a overflow bottle. So it joins the can together. It looks really neat in the car. So it's basically a 2-in-1, but you do need to relocate the fuse box to fit it. So I don't think it's going to be a product, but once I have some photos of it, I'll certainly offer it, because I have made a jig for it, so I can make more of them. Since it's based off of a design that I already have, it's not that big of a stretch to offer it as a product. I really want to get the welding nice. This is the second custom catch can I've made for this company, which is Drift King here in Brisbane. And yeah, really want to do a good job for them. I'm actually making 2 of these, so one for Drift King and one for Otaku Garage, both with washer bottles instead of overflow bottles. They just both happen to have the vehicles that they're going into. They've already sorted overflow bottles. I would have liked to really have argued the point that would it be better to make this the overflow just from a volume point of view, but the customer's always right and all that jazz. So I don't know if you can hear that at all, but there's a bit of swarf in there, and I will take care of that before I weld the -6 on the bottom. It'll come out of here. If I can't blow it out and shake it out, a lot of the times I can put a vacuum cleaner on there and just suck it all out, but I will make sure all that swarf is out before we button up this hole. And I'll have to grind this down as well, because this is the side that the secondary tank joins to. So that's what we've got going on. I do have 2 of these to weld. There's one on the CNC machine behind me, which I mocked up the brackets on today, and we'll see how we go. What's the time? It's only 5:30, so we've got heaps of time. We'll see how we go and try them both tonight, but one needs to be done tomorrow and the other one needs to be done by Monday. So you know, it's not super pressing, but this one needs to be finished for me to drop off tomorrow. So fittings, brackets, works. We'll see how we go. Anyway, let's just start welding. So this panel in here I want to do with a pulse setting, but I just want to do a couple of little bits first just to make sure he's all secured in and not going to move around or pop any of the tacks that are holding it in. There's quite a lot of tension on this part, just the way that it has to be fit. So yeah, let's put you in a welding screen first and do it. Okay, so yes, I've just welded across the bottom where I know that a lot of the tension is in this part, and just fusion welded where these really sharp points are so they don't blow out as I travel up there. I actually will travel down from them in a pulse setting, so let's jump into the machine and let's save that first. Whatever we changed, I think it was the frequency. We'll jump into setting number 3, which is our pulse setting. I've done the, oh, I didn't save it. Let's put that 5% hot start level with a 1.2 second. We're on auto with our pre-flow and post-flow, everything looking good. 45-second on time with a 1 second pulse, square wave, 130 hertz, and 33% on the AC balance. All looks really good. Okay, so not too bad. Had a little bit of a step over here, and I think the dabs are a bit too tight there. Wasn't a massive fan, but we have it welded. It looks pretty good. It's not a massively protruding weld, which is what I usually get on these. So we got a bit of heat in the part. I was going to say while we're in pulse setting, we'll weld that filter basket in, but taken care of it already. So the only thing to do over here is get a really nice weld around the top. Just take the time to level him out a little bit. And let's jump into settings, and we'll just save that change we made to the hot start level. Go back to profile number 1, which is our straight current setting right there, and let's do a little bit of welding. So it's different on this one because the orientation of the tank is different. So normally when I weld these, I start in this corner back here because that tucks under the guard on that side, but it's actually this corner here that tucks under the guard as the way that it's orientated in the car. So being mindful of that, I'll start over here. I do want to pop a chill block on there. And we'll grab a fresh filler rod. And do I want to run the metronome? I might put the metronome on at 115 beats per minute, and let's weld. Okay, got a nice weld across the back there. Looks pretty good. Usual issues where it gets thin and we have the heat soak of the baffling on the inside, but really looks really good. Having a comfort issue, which I feel like my my little welding plate is too it's too close to me, and I was going to say, how could it be when it lines up with the positioner? But it was not lined up with the positioner. So we're just going to carry on going around in the same direction. We'll keep that chill block on there, and I will just touch off the corners before we get started. And pop you in welding screen 1. Okay, we've traveled around there really nicely. Looks really, really good. So I was just, for some reason the weld doesn't sound right. So I want to just investigate if we can get away with turning up that high frequency spark force back to 100%. And in doing that, we'll turn off the 5% we had turned it up to compensate on the start here. Now that we've moved that computer away, hopefully that'll solve the cameras cutting out problem. We'll see. This welding across the front here, where the inlet is, usually in this catch can it has its own baffle system. So let me just take this tethered helmet off. I've got some old ones in here that I'm waiting to put fittings on, but you can see, how can I show you this? We can zoom this camera up and over. So this is the standard S14 catch can. You can see the inlets are over here and the filter cradle is in a different location. So on this one, the inlets are over on this side. This one, they're over on, how can I show you there? On this side over here. So this has its own, excuse me, this has its own baffle plate, the S14 one that I designed that goes in to the S14 ones. With the mod that I've done on this one, I've actually put an R32 baffle system in there, just by the width and the depth. So because I run a labyrinth system, it ends up just feeding back against the front of the can. So it fit in here instead of the orientation that it was elsewhere. But the baffle is just suspended out in the middle. It is welded. You can see the dimple there from where there's a weld there, and there's a couple down the front down here. So it's welded in there securely, but it's just sort of normally I push them up against the sidewall. So I'm interested to see. Long story long, I guess. I'm interested to see how the suspended baffle creates a heatsink as I travel past it. So we've changed the high frequency start. Got the chill block on. I need my helmet back on. And we are welding. So these holes are super. I drilled these holes after the fact. So I made these panels with a blank. Actually, this panel here is normally one piece, and because the holes were here, I just cut this section off that big panel and recut this panel here. So, so I've drilled all these holes manually instead of on the CNC machine. Let's see what happens. We'll go into the screen that shows the welder, because that was the camera that was giving us grief the most last time. Oh. And while I'm thinking about it, since the cameras have been so good, I want to just change the brightness on that welding camera. So I'll do it in the welding screen, so there won't be any action for a couple of seconds while I just mod that camera, and then we'll get stuck into it. Okay, so we froze the welding camera, which is either I got to stop changing more than one thing at a time. So it's either the high frequency start or the did that settings camera stay on? Yes. Yeah, so either the high frequency start or the mod that I did to it. It should come back when I go to the welding screen. And I had the focus set on auto. That may be the issue as well. It doesn't like to change the brightness and the focus at the same time. So we'll try that. If it freezes, we'll be able to fix it on the next run. Okay, got no idea if that fixed it, but it didn't die, so it kind of balances out. So here and here, where roughly where the uprights are for the internal baffle, and you can see right on whatever it is, the fourth or fifth dab in there, you can definitely see that there is something going on with the weld, but this is going to have -12 fittings on it, even though like the weld looks beautiful anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's going to have -12 on it, so they're going to cover, by the time they're welded on, they're going to cover so much of that weld. So it's totally fine, but the whole weld around the top looks great. So the extra, I mean, it's not really extra effort. I do try and do my best 100% of the time, but this I'm giving to the customer raw, and then they're getting it powder coated because they need the catch can in the car for a dyno run, and then they have time to go get it coated. So I don't have the luxury of you know, coating it before it goes to the customer. You know, I'm definitely not worried or ashamed of the quality of the workmanship, but I would much prefer to do the whole process and give the customer a completely finished product, just in general. But you know, we've got to do what we got to do to keep our customers happy. I don't think I can do. I wanted to just block out the noise of the welder a little bit with a second headphone, but I can't talk, listen, and have hearing protection at the same time, unfortunately. So that being said, now we're going down the sides. I want to just try Optima for that that sound. See if we can save my ears a little bit tonight, and let's see how it goes. Thank you, Chris. I'm really proud of the welds on the top of this one tonight. Not so much with the filter basket welds, but the ones we've done around the edge so far, super happy with these settings. Okay, so just buzz down there with Optima settings. The main difference I find with Optima settings is that the heat isn't even. You can see, if I get it in the light about there, you can almost see just a slight undulation in the weld. Compared to these ones that are done on the square wave, that just look, you know, they just look shiny and very uniform. But there's a massive difference in the loudness. I don't know what you call it, but the noise that the machine makes. But I'm actually not willing to make that sacrifice, so we'll go back to square wave there, and you know, we'll just deal with it and keep on keeping on. I got 30 centimeters of filler. Might save it for the short run. Got a shorter piece, got a full length. This will do, and let's go. Okay, looks good, looks shiny. You can definitely see, can I zoom in and make that more obvious at all? So this one here is the Optima wave we welded with, and then instantly switch to the square wave there. You can see it better on the top just from the light direction. But definitely get a shinier weld. Really, it's not that different. If there was powder coat on this thing, you'd really be pushing to see the difference at all, I think. But yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Even the etching zone is quite different on the Optima wave. Find it like I really want to use these settings, but I think I'm just a square wave sort of person. Just close that gap there. Now it gets a bit interesting. I might actually try and weld this seam on the face here. So this is a weld that I don't normally have to do because it's usually a fold, but on this part, you know, we made that change to it. And I'd like to weld it from top to bottom, ideally. Let's see if we can hold that tank like that. Zoom you back out. focus you up, and we'll get ready to do this weld. This 30 millimeter, this 30 centimeter piece of filler should be long enough to do this weld. Wanted a little bit just through here. I'm not really sure. I'm not certain. I felt like I might have had my elbow on the table. I didn't actually pay attention to that, but something was going on there. Definitely could have upped the gas a little bit for that that style of weld. It's almost a fillet weld, butt weld. Sorry. Might see if I can pop a chill block on the back here. That should be fine. So we've got a seam just here. So I will just tack off the corners of that seam and then go ahead and weld him out. All right, not too bad. I don't know, I panicked a little bit as I got close to that hole, but it was fine. Not doing too bad here as far as heat goes. We'll just continue on. This edge here that you can see a couple of little scuffs there. I had to buzz it down a little bit on the belt sander. It was protruding a little bit too far, which is just a sort of, I think because of the mix match of panels, but it just is what it is. Okay, what was that? Everything's still working, yes. Just heard a USB unplug plug-in sound. Makes sense to weld these two flat seams while we're here. So let's jump into settings and we'll just save the changes we made to this program number 1. I'm going to jump down to the pulse setting number 3. We just have to turn off this hot start level. Keep on calling it high frequency start. We're on auto for the post flow, and we'll just check that high frequency spark force is still at 100%. I always forget, but it is a global setting. So when I make that change, it changes it to all of the profiles. I don't know if global setting is the right term even, but I think we all know what I'm talking about. So we're going to pulse weld these flat welds up here. Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. Does it translate well to the camera? No. Looks really good. There we go. There's a good angle. The worst thing in the world is listening to a metronome while pulse welding. And they're both just a fraction out from each other. Well, one's a fraction out from the other. I guess they're not both out. but having that metronome in my ear is the worst while I'm on the pulse setting. So I think this is the final weld. So I'm trying to weld this whole tank out so I can let it cool a little bit to be able to come in and just linish the old drain hole down. So I'm welding this out so then we can weld the little tank while this cools, then to be able to come back and burnish it, linish it. Okay, I might be able to get this little guy on here as a chill block. Just pop all this gear out the way, and we've got a little bit of a large gap through the back here, and I don't know if it's worth tackling that on pulse, but we'll give it a try. It's actually nauseating listening to the metronome while on a pulse setting. It wasn't worth it just for listening to the metronome. So we'll go in here, we'll just save the changes we made to the pulse profile number 3, which was just that hot start level. We'll go back to setting number 1, our straight current, and weld out this. What I think is the final weld. We'll be able to pick it up and spin it around and double check once I've welded this side. Okay. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. This underside here looks a bit atrocious, but it's gone now. So I've got all of the seams welded. Cool. So we're done. We'll just put him aside and let him cool off a little bit. Still here, just cooking dinner. Thank you. I appreciate you hanging out. I'm 100% thinking about food almost all the time, right at this second. It's I think, like, I mean, it's not unusual for me to be streaming now, but I think the thing that changes for me is the fact that this catch can has to be done tonight. It makes me rebel a little bit. I'm gonna start down here, just so our stop start is down here, since we're gonna be pushing these two cans together, so I don't want the stop start to be up in the corner. So we'll just tack this little point, and then we'll start running around this thing, trying to just go the same direction the whole way around. We want to be in this screen here. Okay, so stand him up. And I'm going to break one of my rules, which is chewing gum while I'm streaming. for I am Steve. So I apologize for the chewing, but I'll get the bulk of it done while I'm under the hood. Okay, I basically ignored the metronome that whole time. Let's see if I can switch it off. Okay, cool. Yeah, switch that metronome off. I can still hear the stream. I'll just pop that stream back up. Yeah, fair bit of heat in the end there as it got to the point. Not really anywhere for it to dissipate, but it kind of just is what it is. This is two things on this thing I'm not looking forward to welding. One is this point of a seam, and the other is this guy down here. We'll do our best to fusion weld it and then come back and weld it. But that little point there is going to want to disappear on me real quick. Which I wonder if I should weld it now while the part's not super hot. I think that would be a good call. I'll just buzz around and tack up all the corners, make sure it doesn't warp around too much, and then I'll come through and I'll try and fusion weld the whole part, or at least cold weld it, and then come back over it afterwards. Bit tedious, but I think worth it. Okay, got a fusion weld along this whole seam. It was a bit touch and go down the end there. Fusion weld the point to the first tack, and I decided to put a bit of filler in this one just to put a bit of meat in there because there was a bit of a gap there. I am just going to hit it with the air gun to cool it down. I see the chatbot is working. There's a few parameters. It will say different things, but some of the parameters need to be met, which I can't remember what they are. There's a certain amount of comments or a certain amount of time. I'll just jump in a welding screen so you don't have to listen to the air gun. All right, looks good. Okay. Now, bit of creative propping. Like so, and we'll get a chill block on the back there. So I'm going to attempt to weld across this top face. Wish me luck. Okay, looks pretty successful. It's this side here, very touch and go at the start here, but we'll just dump a bit more air on it and go again on the other side. Okay, now how do we can just stand it up nice and simple. Just sandwich it in here as a little bit of a chill block situation. And we're going across this way here. All right, that was just a weird angle. It worked, but it didn't feel fantastic. But we have it welded. I'm not going to go over this. I was originally thinking I would, but I think that's perfectly acceptable. And it's also the face that gets sandwiched onto the other tank, so no reason to go again. This one's gonna suck. I don't know. I might shorten the tungsten a little bit, and just so the gas wraps around. It's like the only time in my life I've wanted one of those duckbill lenses, or cups rather. Let's just get this. We'll get the stick out about 2 millimeters. I probably should switch to a number 8, but you know, I'm just going to do it. So, are the 3M gloves going to be coming back? Probably not in my store, but I hope they come back to the world. I saw on the DuPont website the other day that they are listing them as like contact our resellers. I contacted the 2 Australian resellers, and neither of them will sell non-commercial quantities. I actually went out the other day and bought a whole bunch of those mechanics gloves, mechanics with an X, to try to see if any of those would be usable, because they're local, like easily available locally. I also ordered some Kevlar gloves through another company, and then they cancelled my order because they could not get them. So the short answer is I'm looking almost weekly to see if any of my old suppliers start stocking them again. If I ever get the opportunity, I will buy a box of them, 30 or 50 pairs. And if that ever becomes a reality, I will certainly make them available on my website again. But yeah, just no bueno on the gloves right now. So I'm using these. These are from Bunnings. I think they sell them in the welding section, but I think they're just barbecue gloves. And this pair is a week old, and I've already burst through 1, 2, 3, 2 fingers, and another one on the way. They're pretty dreadful, but they're the best. Without getting leather gloves, they're the best that I can find locally. I haven't gone through like the safety stores around here, but yeah, if you ever find them, let me know. If anybody, I don't know if there's anyone here at the moment, but if anybody finds the DuPont Kevlar gloves, send me a link. I want them, I need them. They're bloody amazing. Just on second thoughts, I might do this on the pulse setting. That might help out a little bit with the etching. Well, that chatbot is going a little bit ham now. So yeah, I was just thinking about that. Actually, let's talk about this weld first. Pretty happy with that. Got pretty good etching down both sides there, and I think I'm super happy that I went with the pulse setting on that. I don't like that style of weld, but it's you know, it just is what it is. I don't yeah, definitely going a number 8 cup would have been nicer, but it just is what it is. With the whole style of this tank, it will be totally fine. Just flicking up to profile number 1 again to keep on welding. Yeah, the sleeves as well. So these are the Lincoln sleeves. I really like these. They're sort of like a canvasy material. These sleeves are knackered. They've got holes in them, and they've just massively faded. But I went to grab another set, and used to be able to get them from Gas World, and I think like Total Tools or someone had them as well. But nobody's got them anymore. You can get them out of America, but it's $45 for shipping for 1 pair per pair. But I did see on Oz Welding Supplies that he has the Furic ones, which just look like the Chinese ones with the Furic logo on them. But I'm going to give them a crack. But yeah, sleeves and gloves. Like, how is PPE such a difficult thing? I make it difficult because I won't use leather at all. But you know, I'm like, it's just the world right now. I know, but man, it you know, it makes it hard. Okay, so we got this weld, and then the next weld I think I want to do in pulse as well, but we've already changed out, so let's just go for it. Okay, good. Yeah, the links to the people that were selling the 3M gloves. I think if you just go on the DuPont landing page, it has them there. But yeah, I did flick them an email. In the past, and they basically said the same thing, that they want a MOQ of like 3,000 pairs. And I just don't want to become a glove warehouse. So this weld, I was gonna say I wanted to pulse it, but there's a bit of a gap. I can probably close that gap actually. That won't be a problem. Yeah, I want definitely don't want any of the weld sticking out, because this is the surface that butts up against the other tank. Actually, this protrudes this thing, but anyway, regardless, let's just weld it with straight current and do a good job of it. Oh, we lost cameras. I was thinking while I was welding, I was gonna come back and praise the cameras. I think, how early did that go? Because I had a stutter right at the start. Yeah, it definitely went right at the start, and I was interested to see. It was like a earthing issue. If that threw the cameras out. So we've lost looking. Do we still have settings? No. So we've lost all except for the welding helmet camera. Well, we've had a good run. This has been an hour and 43 minutes with no camera issues. Remarkable. Should I? I might just try doing a software reset instead of unplugging them, just for curiosity's sake. We'll try it with the M10. We'll deactivate it and reactivate it. Nope, the M50, let's deactivate it and reactivate it. No, so they definitely want to reset. Which, the settings camera is plugged into USB 2 slot, and the other ones are in the USB 3. And I thought that they failed independently, but obviously it's a camera problem because the helmet camera is still working, not a USB problem. So that camera is working. This camera needs to be switched on and off. I don't know why, but when I plug the USB back in, it says on the camera, please reinstall the battery. I don't know how plugging the USB in, it doesn't USB charge. I don't know why it thinks it's different. And then this little guy, set to camera mode, done. So we've got settings cam, got everything back. Hour 45, first camera issue. That is pretty good. No idea why, but I did have an earthing issue right at the start there. I have, I don't know how I can show you with the settings camera. I'll lift this guy up. No, you can't see. Right there, I've put a clamp on my earth, on my ground, to try and get a better earth on the table, because I seem to have this stuttering issue from time to time, and I think it is the earth. Bring that tungsten back out. So this totally welded now, looks really good. This guy has okay. I hope that wasn't too loud. I didn't even think to swap out the microphone setting. So I want to prop this boy up. I want to, if I do these how does this go? This way? If I do these top down, then the tops will be level, right? to push that forward. Okay, so like that, let's get a little bit of painter's tape. Yeah, so these here, these were the gloves, the mechanics gloves that I didn't know what the palm was made out of, and I wasn't certain if it was heat resistant, but I managed to poke a hole in it with a warm filler rod, and I got some where's the other ones that I thought were good? I don't know where they are. Here they are. Tried some of these speed knit ones as well, these guys here. I was reading that some of them have latex palms on them, and the latex would actually hold up for the heat. But I'm not certain, like they don't really have the, no, they do actually. Yeah, so these aren't the latex ones, but these cut-proof gloves with a latex palm would probably work pretty well as welding gloves as well. And then yeah, I just grabbed just a set of their gardening ones, but they're you know, they weren't intended for welding. I used them for doing all the burnishing and folding. But yeah, no luck with the gloves, unfortunately. So I'm going to weld these two tanks together before I put the fittings on, because it'll be easier to stand it up if it's closer to being a square. So we've got that those tops pretty well in line. I have no intention of welding this seam here. I was just going to leave it welded on one side, folded on the other. I think it looks quite good, and it will be powder coatable. So I'm just going to get a couple of tacks in the corners. So same way that I do my R34 tank, I'm just going to do a couple of 1-inch passes, like 1-inch long welds out from the corners. I am going to bump down to the pulse setting. This may most likely will need to be setting number 4. And let's just go through and check him out. So he's a 60% on time with a 1-second pulse. We will bounce in here and just up to the 33%, since we've learnt that from the last time we've used this setting. And we're at 150 amps, so just to compensate for the thickness of the welds, should be good. We're on the foot pedal anyway. Let's do it. Okay, so camera's still working, but I just lost the stream deck, which is very odd. which I have no way to do a soft restart on that. The Stream Deck is the only thing that doesn't have a ferrite at both ends. It's got one at one end. But yeah, very rare for that to cut out. Which is just the thing that's got all the buttons that lets me change scenes. Super handy, but I can do it with a mouse, so no, like, not the end of the world. Okay, so we got our tacks done. We did just transfer a little bit of glue from that tape to the very corner of this cloth. Get rid of that glue, and we'll get rid of the tape on this side. How we got time? 10 to 7. Definitely running out of steam, but don't have a choice. I need to get this done. So we'll just keep on going. All right, welding. Cameras are still working. Yes, 150 amps is a little bit too much for a 1.6mm filler. So I started going down here. I was just going to do an inch at the top and an inch at the bottom, but I think I want to continue it as a full-length weld. But I wanted to just button off the other side because I suspect that I would have cracked the tacks if I continued on. So hopefully I can match the rhythm of the weld that I've put there already, but we'll see how it goes. Gets rid of that seam that I didn't like. It actually negates all the effort trying to get that pointy seam nice, but at least we'll know when we weld the next one that we don't have to fuss too much about it. And I might just, oh, well, I will just get a bit of a weld along the bottom here. Not that it needs it, but it just looks better. So. Beautiful. Now we're starting to get. It must be. It must be this setting. I wonder what's different about it, apart from the high amperage, higher amperage. Everything else, we got a slight upslope we don't need. Startup level, I think, is 5% on the... no, are these global? No, they're not global settings on the TIG. Frequency, maybe. Whatever. Save the changes. I'm not even showing you what I'm doing. Save the changes here. And we'll just jump into program number 1, and I just want to see what that... See, I just changed those, but are they global settings? Where can I go? Down here. 10%. No, they're not global settings. Okay, cool. So, yeah, okay, well, who knows? Doesn't really matter. Nobody, like... You have to worry about whether your camera is going to die on welder settings. It's such a pain. Okay, so we have the tank welded. Now, I definitely need to put the fittings on tonight. And where's my little key? Here's my key. And I will do the brackets in the morning. So as long as the customer's got the tank tomorrow, I will be true to my word. How the heck are we going to prop you like this? So this, and that's a bit precarious, but definitely if we put a stopper at the back, gosh, okay. Let's turn the positioner on. And doop, 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 we're all good. The foot pedal is just magneted up under the table. Let's get the foot pedal. And is magneted a word? I'm not sure. Okay, so this one is -12 fittings. I think the other one is -10. I will have to double check with the customer because I don't remember. One thing I was thinking the other day is I 100% have not dialed in my fitting weld settings. And I used to get pretty good results with the mix setting, but I think we played around on stream and I stopped using mix setting. And I don't remember what setting I use anymore. Probably that setting number 4 that we were just using. And I have to apologize in advance if it shuts the cameras down. And I will, I mean, I've got really nice spacing, so I don't need to swap out to my number 4 standard gas, standard collet body. But we'll just increase that stick out a little bit, and let's just tack him up. Sorry, I'm just changing the settings because I don't want to actually weld these with a pulse setting. So I was just diving into profile number 2. We'll probably go 105 hertz. We'll stick with our 33 and let's do startup level. Yeah. 154 amps. That's got to be good, right? Why are we at 4? Okay, what's going on here? I've just extended my cable somehow. Okay. Let's do the thing. Did I unplug my microphone? No, it's working. Everything's good. Welding. Thank you, Chris. It was just my stream delay. So I listened to the audio back the same time that you do. Yeah, it's just like, surely I could hear something by now, but that was really nice. I'm really happy with that. Recently, my fitting welds have not been super shiny, and that's what sort of led me down the road of I need to play around with the settings. But 154 amp. Let's get another -12 on here. Got plenty of room to get this gas cup in there. Don't know what's going on. This cable is flopping about weird. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're getting a welding screen. definitely need to take the time to line up this fitting with the center points, because that is a lot. So over there, God, are we going to be able to do this? Look at the little chill block on this side, maybe. We'll get the big chill block propping up the back, and we'll get the medium chill block holding this wing. Can we get a bit more height on this side, and then we'll get this guy to stop it sliding. That's definitely manageable. Excellent. We'll get a full length filler. I'm using the 1.6mm filler with 150 amps. Okay, and that one turned out great as well, which I'm really happy with. That chatbot is super keen for people to jump in the chat, isn't he? I might need to slow him down a little bit. He's a contender for top poster tonight, Chris. So I can't weld the dash 6 on the bottom because I really need to vacuum out those chips. And the vacuum cleaner is not at the shop today. How the heck am I going to do this? Right there. The welds on this tank look really good. I'm very pleased with this. We're going to be able to buzz around here okay? I think so. Yeah, so we're putting a screw cap on the top here. When I test fitted this today in the car, I just made a tower out of blue tack to make sure that there was enough clearance for the bonnet to shut, which is the only thing I was worried about. I thought I'd have to step this down, and this tank is already, it's only 800ml fill capacity, and it's going to be a washer bottle, which is too small in my opinion, but going to remote, this is going to be difficult. You can hardly see that. My stomach is almost in the way of this tank. If I start here, I'll be in the best shape. Yeah, I'm going to remote mount, so there's going to be about 2 feet of dash 10 hose, which will also hold a little bit of washer fluid as well. So it's just the best we could do. So I'll get 3 tacks on here, and I'll put the stop start at the back. Yeah, that'll do. that looks absolutely fantastic as well. I'm just going to, while it's all central and set up, I'm just going to take a video of this guy running around. Excellent. All right, and I think that's all I can do tonight. So I need to get the dash 10 on the front, the dash 6 on the bottom, the brackets on, and then just assemble it. And this is ready to go to the customer. So we did well tonight, I think. 2 hours and 16 minutes plus whatever the previous stream was. I think minutes, the previous one. This has got to be the biggest stream ever for me. I'm not sure if it is, but it's definitely my intent is to stream more, longer, you know, like, and obviously around the shop more. But I spend a lot of time prepping and then welding and then keeping something aside for the stream in the evening. And there's no reason why I can't jump off and on during the day. That's really what I've been thinking about lately. You know, if I do 3 or 4 short streams a day, you know, it's all it's good stuff. So I'm trying to sort of reframe how I think about the streaming situation, and you know, ultimately we'll figure it out. But this second half, so we had the cameras die one time in 2 hours and 17 minutes now of streaming. That's pretty bloody good. I am very curious to see how much internet this used. At the shop here, I'm not on limited internet, but you know, moving forward, we'll figure that out, and that's all cool. So this custom S15 catch can for Drift King. This is the very quick and dirty jig that I made for the brackets. This guy, I don't even know how it goes. I think it goes like this. Just thinking, like, did I even? Oh, I did allow for the cap. Yes, I even wrote cap on there. Look at me go. Right there, cap. So this guy slots in here. This guy is a little bit tighter than the other one. So I'll need to make an adjustment on the jig, which is why I wanted to weld this second one instead of the one that I made the jig to, just to see if I need to make any alterations, which is a really simple alteration. So that's good to know. That I'll have to do in the morning. That's all good. This is all just shit that doesn't concern the stream at all. So S15, got to remove the fuse box. This, if anybody is interested in this product, on my Instagram, I will post up pictures of it fitted to the car once it's in the car. And if anybody wants a product like this with that jig, I can certainly make more in the future. But I don't intend to make it as a product and offer it to the world as a product. So I don't know how many people need a tank like this and have their fuse box removed. So that's sort of the reasoning behind that. Really, really pleased with the weld quality. We've got some really great settings on this machine now. And guys just spinning like crazy. Got some really good settings. Really getting that consistency that I've been looking for, especially after having a bit of time off. So we're doing all good things. I'm going to wrap it up there. Chris, thank you so much for appeasing the chatbot and jumping in the chat. I really appreciate you showing up all the time. It means the world to me. Anyone who was here, I don't have the stream up, but anyone who is here right now or was here tonight, thank you so much. And if you checked out the stream that failed and managed to find the second one, thank you so much for taking your time to hang out with me. That's really, really awesome. Everyone who watches the VOD after this stream was live, thank you so much. If you want to do me a massive favor and hit that subscribe button, that legitimately helps me out at the moment. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. But if you need to dislike it, I'd really appreciate it if you jump in the comments and let me know what you didn't like about this stream, so that I can improve for the future. And if you liked it, let me know what you liked and I'll do more of that. That's going to be it. I will be back. Will I be back tomorrow? I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. Even Chatbot wants to have the last word tonight, Chris. We can't beat him. We'll find a way to shut him up a bit for the next stream. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. I might be because I've got a ton of work to do. But I'll definitely be back on Tuesday for regular streaming sessions. Have a great night, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.